Hey, how's it going? It's Robin Smith, and it's time for the Robin Smith Show for Sunday, April 19th, 2026. How's it going, everyone? How's it going? Did you all get your taxes done? I got my taxes done. No amended returns, no extended deadlines. Hopefully it was all good on your end. I want to wish a belated happy birthday to my sweet daughter, Charlie, who's now 8 years old. I now got a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old. And it was sweet. I got to go eat lunch with her on her birthday at school. And the sleepover party still hasn't happened. I'll report back on how that all goes. Actually, there's a tradition where the elementary school, there's a rock outside and you paint it. And my wife's the artist, so she paints. We went to the hardware store and got some spray paint. You know what's funny? I literally I'm shaking a paint can, a spray paint can. You know how because it has there's a ball in it and it mixes the paint or whatever. You shake it, and I'm very close to an elementary school brick wall, and I just have this flash impulse like Bart Simpson. You know what I mean? Like there's a mischievous 10-year-old part of me that's like, oh, let's spray paint. Not that I never did that, but it's just the exposure to the culture and being like, it literally was like Bart Simpson energy. It was just like, hey man, you want to like spray paint a cuss word? Of course I wouldn't do that. That's just my shadow. Let me tell you something else about my shadow. This is confession time before I get to other stuff. I was swimming laps. I'm going to have to say goodbye to that gym. It's too goddamn expensive. Anyway, I digress. The gym that I currently go to, there's a pool there, and I'm swimming laps. And there's a lady. She's walking. She has a book. I assume it's a library book. Maybe it's her book. I don't know. But she has a book. She's standing in the lap lane and she's walking. She's just walking and reading her book. And even before I get in the swimming pool, I'm like, this is no place. I mean, this is again. I preface this by saying this is my shadow. Okay, so the mischievous part. There's a part of me that goes, I'm gonna fucking like purposefully like, redline it in my freestyle stroke when I'm passing her. I want to splash that book. Get out of the pool, lady. Books are for, there's a whole deck of chairs over there for people who are like watching their kids in the pool, and that's where you read. Now I get she doesn't have kids. She's there to walk her laps. And and who am I to judge her? She, it's perfectly fine to walk and read. I'm just speaking for the part, okay? Just the part that was like, and what's funny is when I told my wife about it, I was telling her this, I'm sure she judged me a little bit. That's fine. That's totally natural. I have a judgmental part that judges me. In fact, that part is like, why would you talk about this publicly? You're a goddamn professional. You're telling the whole world that you want to splash this poor lady's library book in the swimming pool? Yes, that is what I'm saying. But like, as I do it, I'm like, my shoulder starts to hurt. And I'm like, oh, this is the universe. This is like the cosmic justice of like, you ought not do that, Robin, from the higher power, from source, God, Jesus, whatever you want to call it. Robin, don't let the devil win. Don't give in to the demons. The demons are the ones telling you to splash this poor lady's book. Anyway, I digress. Back to the spray paint story, okay? So there's a rock, and it's happy birthday, but it's a Harry Potter theme, and but we go to the hardware store and get this stuff, and there's a paint can with like glitter gold, and everything is, it feels to me anyway, it's a little last minute, and it's we don't have you need like a flathead screwdriver to open the paint can, and we don't have that. And I go to the after hours staff. I'm like, hey, do you all have? I'm like, maybe building services has a tool. And the lady, bless her heart, she's like this, I don't know, she's like this Latina lady in her 30s. Her hair's in a bun. She's a little burly. She looks very industrious and like no nonsense. Like, she's a goddamn angel. Okay, she looks. I'm like, she pulls her. She doesn't hesitate. She pulls out her key and she just uses her key to open it. Now, some of you right now are saying, "Yeah, Robin, what the fuck? That's what you should have done." I don't have that common sense. Okay, I have a story. I have a belief that I lack common sense. And I'm just going the conventional route, like, oh, the only time I ever open paint cans is with a flathead screwdriver, and I forgot to bring my flathead screwdriver. And so she just pops it open. I'm like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, I do something like, I was like, do you have any painters in your family or something like that? So I say something stupid like, do you have any painters in your family? She's like, no. And I'm like, okay, just common sense. So anyway, I go back to the Rock where my lovely wife is painting, happy birthday to our daughter in like Harry Potter font, and like it's very creative. She has like the 9 3/4 platform, the symbol, whatever that symbol is, with the triangle and the circle and the sword, or not the sword, the wand. Yeah, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, long story short, when we're done spray painting the Rock, painting the message. And I'm like, well, I was like, I need a hammer. Because again, conventionally, I'm like, you open with a flathead screwdriver and you close it with a hammer or a mallet or whatever. And so I go back to the resourceful lady, right? I go back to her. I go, hey, you don't happen to have a hammer or anything? And she goes, without missing a beat, she bends down. This is right outside the door. So there's a doorstop. She just bends down and grabs the doorstop and just hammer fists the paint thing closed, and then she hands it to me, and I'm just like completely emasculated and just like, I feel like such an idiot. You know what I mean? I'm just laughing at myself and like, oh God, she is so industrious and I'm so foolish. Anyway, I had to share that story with you all. And now to more depressing news. The Caps are out of the playoffs. They are officially eliminated from the playoffs. In our household, YouTube TV is officially paused. So, I mean, not that we were able to watch Caps. I've bitched on it too much to you all. I'm sorry. So if someone's like, who are you going to root for in the playoffs now? I'm like, I don't want to root for anyone. And I would watch, because playoff hockey is great. I mean, I don't know. I might try and watch a game if it's like a Game 7. Because again, those are special games. Playoff Game 7 energy that's just special hockey. But the Caps are out, so boo-hoo, so sad. Hopefully the team that you listen or that you follow is in, and good luck to you. I think that's all I want to say about it. I mean, has Ovechkin made an announcement? Is this his last year? Let me ask it. Ovechkin? Let's ask the internet. Ovechkin retirement? Oh no. Alex Ovechkin discusses potential retirement from Washington Capitals. Is pretty sure about his Capitals retirement decision. No, mulling retire. So this is all speculative. Oh, here it is 2 hours ago. According to Heavy.com, Alex Ovechkin drops major retirement hint. That's not hint. That's clickbait. Okay, and then but Yahoo Sports says Alex Ovechkin not ready to retire. All right, I'm sorry, y'all. This is all speculative. He leaves the door open to return to the Caps. We're not going to know. Okay, I'm recording this on Friday. We just don't know. So, I talked about the YouTube TV pause. Our fan, did I mention that the gym membership is too expensive? All right, so I'm pausing YouTube TV and Disney Plus. And before the Disney Plus subscription pause, though, I did watch that Get Back documentary. The Beatles Get Back, and I think that came out in 2021, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, I'm a little late to the party, but it was enjoyable to watch. As a musician who has played, toured, recorded albums in studios, it's really cool to watch, the legendary Beatles, and you're watching them have similar energy, just another chum, just another musician, talking about the process or conducting, arranging, saying, oh no, do it like this, do. And, I mean, studio time now, again, this is where the comparison between me as a musician and my experiences end, really. Obviously, the Beatles, worlds above, world-class talent, and also their budget. Like they don't have concerns about the money. You know what I mean? Whereas a lot of musicians, when they're paying for studio time, it's fun and it's a whole process in and of itself. But like there can be sort of we didn't get it, let's do another take. And it's like, well, we're crunching. We only have so many hours left in the day, and we only have this much money to pay for studio time. So that element, was not a part of it. But just, I don't know. There's something about, venerating these rock and roll legends and then just watching them, just watching the reality of their dynamic. And, when George Harrison is like, he leaves, and the whole like secret mic thing, that seems unethical, doesn't it? Like these guys are getting, it literally is against the law in some states to record people without their knowledge. Obviously as a fan, you're like, ooh, we get the juicy conversation that John and Paul had about George, and they didn't realize they were being recorded. But it was that might. So we didn't cancel a Netflix Netflix subscription. So I'm looking forward to watching the Red Hot Chili Peppers documentary. I knew I could wait on that, because there's no closing window for the subscription there. Anyway, hey, it's time to do a read here. Let's read about, I don't know, how about pro bono counseling? Pro bono counseling, your mental health connection. At Pro Bono Counseling, we believe access to quality mental health care is a human right and can change a person's life. Our goal is to help people of all backgrounds in Maryland find the right mental health professional to meet their needs, no matter their income. Visit probonocounseling.org to learn more. I believe highly in pro bono counseling. So much so that I participate. Not directly. I used to participate with pro bono counseling. But it's important to have, clients that are paid clients as well as clients that don't, they can't afford it, or it's just there's a different kind of a relationship with that client. If there's a pre-existing relationship. So you wouldn't classically consider someone a psychotherapy client, but these are more spiritual healing clients that the universe kind of puts me in touch with, or the universe directs me to them. And it's very rewarding. Anyway, I digress. Go support them. You don't have to be a therapist to support them. You can make a donation, and you're helping other people in the community get the help that they need. So once again, probonocounseling.org to learn more. Okay. I think before the next episode comes out, there will be a meteor shower. So I got to talk about it now. All right. This is in the northern hemisphere. Believe it or not, I have listeners in the southern hemisphere. Can you believe that? I can't. I still can't wrap my mind around it. So this is only for you northies. The 2026 Lyrids meteor shower, a 2,700-year-old tradition, peaks on the night of April 21st and 22nd. Does that mean these meteors were not going through a near Earth's orbit prior to 2,700 years ago? How do we know that? Are these the astrologers? How do we know this stuff? We have ancient records, right? Dating back to Babylon and Mesopotamia, and even before that. If you want to go real deep, then we're going to talk about the Atlanteans and the aliens. We'll get to aliens later, okay? Well, not yet. If you listen to the episode with Zach B last week, I think he and I we had to have spent at least an hour on aliens. I think so. Okay, April 21st through the 22nd, early pre-dawn hours of April 22nd. What does that mean? Does that mean we have to wake up at 4 a.m. if we want to watch these? Who's doing that? I don't know that I am. Is that a early pre-dawn hours of April 22nd? What day of the week is that? That's Wednesday. That's in the middle of the work week. Who's doing that? Unless that's your job. I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know. We'll see. But expect 10 to 15 meteors per hour, sometimes with bright fireballs. Now, that's a reason to wake up. You want to see bright fireballs in the in the pre-dawn sky? That's pretty cool. Originating from debris left by Comet C 1861 G1 Thatcher. Okay, the best viewing is in the northern hemisphere. Yes, after midnight, away from city lights. Well, that's the other thing. There's too much light pollution here. We live near a like an auto dealership. I mean, not really near it, but close enough that the light pollution it's a whole auto park. And I remember one time, I can't believe I'm in session with a client. Okay, this is a virtual therapy client. All right. And there was some sort of great conjunction for you Muppet fans or whatever, Dark Crystal fans, Skeksis, Mystics, and Olgra. And what's the name? Jen? Is it Jen and Kira? Oh, my God. Anyway, the great conjunction. There was an alignment of like Jupiter and Saturn and Venus or Mars or something. There was an alignment of 3 different planets. And I'm literally like, the time to view this event is during this client session. It's so unprofessional. And yet I think I said to them, I'm like, hey, you all, I didn't say like, hey, next week there's this thing. So just FYI, we're going to like not do our work for 5 minutes. I think I just sprung it on them. I was like, hey, do you all mind if I just like go out in the middle of, I don't even know if it was the middle of the session or the end of the session. It was highly unprofessional. Okay. I apologize. They're not listening, but I apologize to you unnamed clients, or thank you for your flexibility or your understanding for me prioritizing a once in a lifetime heavenly event over your healing. Anyway, pardon me. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, the auto park. So if I'm going to wake up and watch this thing, I'm going to have to wake up at 4 a.m. and then drive somewhere. I don't think I'm going to do it. Anyway, I digress. Hey, how about the Artemis II mission? The astronauts, they touched down, they splashed down. Was it last week? I saw on Instagram, the retrieval footage, with someone with a GoPro or whatever, and they open the hatch to the module or the pod or whatever, and then they put a little like plastic barrier down. I wonder how hot that metal is, even after it splashes in the cold water. I'm imagining that plastic thing that they like put there is, or maybe it's because it's sharp. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But how cool is that? How cool. Even if they only, like they set a new record because they went around the moon, right? They went around the moon. That's a new record by 15 miles or something? I don't know what it is, but it's a new record by like proportionally nothing. But to the degree of phenomena, you get to, can you take pictures of the dark side of the moon? I haven't seen these pictures if they did. Some of them had really inspiring messages to say. It's just what an amazing thing. You've all heard of the overview effect. Perhaps some of you have heard that this is what happens when astronauts are looking at our planet without the national borders. They just see the Earth. They just see the spaceship Earth. And this is our home, and what a beautiful thing. And the overview effect is essentially like, it's sort of like it's like a wake up from trance. It's like, why are we treating one another the way we do when this is our home and we're all in it together and we're all part of the same family, and like we can exist without the violence, basically. Was it Reagan? I think it was Reagan, right? He said, he's like, we need the aliens to attack us if we're actually going to like cooperate as human beings. Here I go again with aliens. Just go listen to the episode with Zach B and I talk about the aliens. We talk about disclosure. I still need to watch that documentary, the Age of Disclosure, I think is what it's called, and then on Amazon. And then there's the Steven Spielberg, what's that one called? Disclosure Day, and that's coming out on June 12th. And yeah, anyway, Oh, is that Emily Blunt? Who's in that? Yes, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth. Okay. Anyway, I digress. As I always do, I think this is the show. I'm going to leave you all with a track from No Pterodactyls. This is on the solo episodes. You might have listened to some other tracks that are not released publicly, but I've been given explicit permission that I'm allowed to release these tracks. So it is an honor and a privilege to share this as from their newest album. Is it The Next Big Thing? I'm sorry, Next Thing I Know. Next Thing I Know. This album releases next month, Friday, May 22nd, but you can hear it here, maybe exclusively. This track is called Nobody Needed a Second Avatar, in parentheses, Platitude Blues, by No Pterodactyls. Thanks for listening. Until next time, take care of yourselves.
Conversations and places with fire escapes where I know all the exits. Just taking the forest for the sake of the trees. Yeah, he's a funny motherfucker. He just do what he please. My lease on life is limited to licking your booth. They're going door to door and they got orders to shoot you down. By the seams of horizons out of reach. Give me a lane to explain what it's all been about. The wave's coming and we got nothing to lose.
The Robin Smith Show is produced by me, Robin Smith. Executive produced by Robin and Kelly Glenn Smith at Team Robley. Theme song by The Very Small. The show is engineered by one of my alters, Games Nabisco. Listeners can get in touch by calling or texting the hotline at 301-458-0883. Messages can be sent to robinsmithshow@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow the show on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Disclaimer. This podcast is for general information purposes only and does not constitute the practice of medicine, psychotherapy, or other professional healthcare services, including the giving of medical advice. Note: no therapist-patient relationship is formed. The use of this information is at the listener's own risk. The content of this podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnoses, or treatment. Listeners should not disregard or delay in obtaining medical advice for any medical condition they have and should seek the assistance of their healthcare professionals for any such conditions.